Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. I hope you're all doing well. Thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome in. We got Tanzania's first. Barlack is in here, not first. Hello, Barlack. Rolanda Halo, thank you so much for this tab, the restab. 28, 28. Nope, 32. 32. It's awesome. Awesome sauce. That's got to be on the top record, like the top 10 record right there is the 32. Anything above 32's got to be in like the top 10, top 15
Yeah,
areas, somewhere on there.
pretty sure Rockheim has me beat and Smoky Swag.
Yeah, I think there's somebody that's got like a 40-41 in there. But still, it's awesome. Here the girl is in there. Everybody's in there. Welcome on in, guys. We are doing Call of Cthulhu. It's tabletop RPG night, and we are ready to have some fun. Of course, we have the all of the channel points redeems in there that you can redeem to affect the game, whether it's extra skill dice, extra GM dice, bad luck, or 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 bad luck. You can make your choice. Of course, we have a lot of the audio alerts on as well, so you can voice your opinions and interact that way as well. So welcome one and all. We do have Tangia running. You will not hear the audio for the Tangia dungeons, but it is there. So with that being said, I'm going to hand it over to our keeper, the one, the only Rachel. Test your might.
All right. Well, this has been the long aftermath of None More Black, where one of the investigators from the original party, David, unfortunately passed away. And we started out this game with David's funeral. David was a magician, a stage magician, by trade, and his father owns a magic shop that him and Betsy run, in Arkham. And so a lot of the visitors there were people from David's work on the stage and were customers of the magic shop. Then, of course, also the investigators and other friends and family. Through the course of events, a family friend, Ingrid Swartz, came up to them and explained that her father had been missing for some time. And while she was concerned that he was missing, there had also been a murder at the house a few days ago. And she asked them to look into it. The investigators have been spending several days looking into that, as well as finding a treasure trove of things that David left behind and didn't cover up enough, and have been dealing with that. I won't get too much into all the clues because after this opening scene, the investigators are going to come together and kind of put together the pieces of what they found so far and then go through next steps. But, excuse me, last game, Ronnie, so they had gone to this theater to watch Ingrid's fiance perform a magic show. And it went overall pretty well until the end when Harold didn't put up the rigging correctly and his assistant on the stage fell and was injured. While that was unfortunate, it did give the investigators an opportunity to go backstage where they did procure a magical book of some sort. And Ronnie wanted to, after they reviewed the book, return it back to the theater. And before I had said, well, there's a lot of guards there. And then I thought about it after we ended the game. And I'm like, I'm not going to poo poo on somebody's good or bad choices and they're fun. So we're going to just kind of dive into things. And Ronnie, you're on the street and you're thinking about just driving back because there are security there. But you watch and you realize that there's a shift change and that the later part of the evening there's not as many guards. There's actually only 2 guards that are staying stationed at the theater. So if you did want to try the sneak in, this would be
Well,
an
I'll probably see
opportunity.
the guy again at some point, right? Like or I can give it to his wife or his fiance. So it's not like it's super important to just go and shove it back in there right this second. Like if I think I can do it, I will. But
Well, if you're gonna do it and you're already out here, this would be the time to try so that he wouldn't, because you guys did sneak it from him where he doesn't know that you took the book.
right, exactly.
So if you want to keep that secret,
Then I'd have to do it now.
yeah.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess I'll try and sneak back in there and drop it
All
off
right.
without anyone knowing.
Now,
Someone's
I
been
know.
given extra skill dice to help counter his bad luck. Thank you. It's much
Whoa.
appreciated.
All right. So go ahead. Let's see. So the front doors, you kind of been scouting the place out a little bit. The front doors are chained to padlock. You could time it right and sneak up there and try to do either like do a stealth first and then do like a locksmith or dexterity.
Okay.
You could also try to go behind and look for a window to break into too.
I'll just try and lock pick it quick.
Okay. So go ahead.
The keeper has been given extra dice. No, DJ. Peaceful
And I'm
girl.
countered.
So go ahead and do a stealth. Well, yeah, do a stealth to get up to the door just to not draw any attention. It's not going to be, I'll give you advantage on that because it's nighttime
Okay.
and nobody's really.
So stealth.
Oh. Well, all right, let me see.
I was glad to help the GM, unless I was supposed to hit the bonus penalty.
Yeah, you do have the extra skill dice.
Sure. 0 makes it a 5, which makes it a super good success.
Yeah, okay, so you're fine. You
And you
sneak
get a
up
marked
there.
stealth.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
you get to put points in.
Yay.
So thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat.
And go ahead and make, yeah, either locksmithing or dexterity.
She had pity on me. She did. She did. Well, last time I had like 6 redeems of bad luck, so. All right. Success on the lockpicking.
Woo! All right, so you slip in and yeah, with your stealth roll too, like you're able to make sure that you shut the door so that it closes as quietly as possible and it's a little bit propped open so that you can have an easy escape.
Okay.
And I'm assuming you kind of go in there and it's a theater, so as much as people like the security guards are being quiet, you can kind of like hear where their movements are
Right.
in the room. And so you kind of time it so that you just go through the auditorium because you remember his dressing room was like right behind the stage.
Yeah.
So probably the quickest way would just be go into the auditorium.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of places to hide.
Yeah, the auditoriums are always easy to sneak around in, even if there's somebody else in the auditorium.
Yeah. And like it's dark in there. The only thing is what they have on the theater is like a ghost light. Basically, it's just a single light on stage, so that if somebody's on stage, they don't fall to their death or like trip over something.
Yeah. You know,
Um,
like if I'm there.
right. So you're going in, and the theater, at first, when you're outside the auditorium, like you could hear like the security guards moving with the guard dogs that they had. But once you get inside the auditorium and close to the stage, it's eerily quiet. And like it's a little bit spookier than kind of what you were anticipating, and it kind of takes you aback. And you don't really put your finger on it until you see that both the gate boxes that were from the performance that Harold was at or teleporting between are still there. And there's like an eerie like hum in the air. And it's from these two gate boxes. And you walk up on stage, but then you're kind of a little unsure,
Yeah.
maybe a little curious.
Like,
Because
what
you
is
remember,
the hum?
yeah, because you're like, they're just boxes. It's somehow like probably like a floor trick.
Yeah, there's a trick to it.
Yeah.
But like
And
with recent things in the thing, and you know, not being able to figure out what some of the stuff was because I ever moved myself so far from it, and I'm a little curious.
yeah. So you go on stage and you're kind of looking at both of them and you're like, right, I would need to get the book back to the dressing room. But the one gate box on the left, like you notice that the chain is undone and that there's like a weird dark glow from the inside. And you
Ronnie,
hear
Ronnie,
your brother's voice as
Ronnie,
he starts to push open the door.
over here, Ronnie.
No, my brother's dead. This
As
isn't
he
funny.
as he opens the door, you start to see some black undulating liquid start to pour out. And you see his hand. And you saw him before, like in the casket. It was obviously the hand of a corpse. But this looks like an actual human hand. And he swings open the door and walks out on stage.
I probably jump backwards, probably try not to stumble and fall on my ass.
Ronnie, be careful. Don't get hurt.
Like you're not real. You are not real.
Goes, I am real.
So it is some sort of hallucinogen or something he was using on the audience. That makes sense.
You do notice that although David appears to be human, he is still wearing the suit he was buried in. And it's kind of weird. His hair is clinging to his face like he had just been through a rainstorm. And he's still standing there at the gate box, and you can see past him and see in. And you can see that it's not just a box on the inside, that beyond it, you see like twinkling starlight in the midst of this black undulating liquid.
Don't let Mom and Dad catch you with, well, they know you have the gun. Just don't let the cops catch you with the gun. The fact that there's no serial number on it might raise some suspicion. That might get you thrown in the clink, you know?
I pull out the gun and look at it to see if there's a serial number on it.
There's not. Or wait, was there a serial number on the
No,
gun?
it was scratched off.
Yeah, it was scratched off.
It's me, little brother. I know you have questions. I'm here to help.
No, you're not real. Magic isn't real.
Magic is very, very real, Ronnie. Find my apartment. Stanley knows where it is. You'll learn about magic there.
I don't want to learn about magic. That's what ruined our family.
Ruined our family. That's what made our family great. That's what got me through the war. That's how I became the amazing Kragan. That's how I was able to support mom and dad when things were rough. The army pension, the magic that I was doing on the USO tours. That's how I got us by.
No, I got a job and got a spy. You abandoned us.
No, I was sending $50 a week back from the government. That's what I got paid on my tours. Every dime going to mom and dad to help pay off the magic shop and pay the mortgage on the house. Why do you think I live in that upstairs apartment? Half that building's mine after I paid for it during the 4 years I was away.
Then why the hell did I have to raise money for our family while you were gone?
Because times were really tough. And even my army funds couldn't keep the bank off their back. I mean, just like, walking outside with a baloney in your pocket and a dog chasing you. Sometimes you have to figure out, are you throwing them the baloney or are you going to fight them off? Mom and dad couldn't do either. I paid, you paid. War ended, things got better. I mean, a magic shop's normally a pretty good business unless you're in the throes of the war. Then nobody really cares about disappearing rabbits or reappearing coins. But the soldiers, anything to distract them. That's why I was paid.
No, you're dead. We
I
buried you.
mean,
We buried you. This is not you, and you are dead. I'm hallucinating, and I need to get the fuck out of here. I need to drop this. And I start turning and looking for where the door to that guy's office is.
As you turn to leave, you catch in the corner of your eye that black undulating liquid in the starlights. And David is standing just outside the gate box, and the liquid reaches out and starts to gently wrap around his form, gently caressing him. And you can see it's like the black liquid has starlight and has heavenly celestial, like there's a comet, you see a planet. It's like if the galaxy was warped in the liquid, and it
Ronnie,
starts to wrap around him.
Ronnie, come find me in the stars. There's so much more to the universe than anyone knows. I can show it to you.
And with that, with the gentle caress of the liquid, pulls David into the gate box. But the door's still open.
I just stand there for a moment watching, awkwardly. And then like walk backwards towards the exit to fuck it, I probably just leave. I probably just don't even deliver the thing. I probably like I need to get out of here.
Okay.
I'm not going to be trapped in this place with whatever this is while the guards are still circling. Like I know that there's a lull. I can get out and I can find another way to drop this off to him.
Sure. Okay. So you turn to leave. Are you trying to be stealthy or are you trying to
Fuck no, I'm just getting out.
Okay. You get out and you get out to your car, and when you're leaving, let me just do a perception check. Okay. So as you're leaving, you forget that about gently shutting the door because you're rushing out of there. And so like when you leave, the door like shuts loudly. So somebody probably heard you, and you hear movement quickly coming towards the front of the building, but
Yeah.
already you're headed to the truck and you're just gonna get in and start
Someone
driving off.
has been granted bad luck.
Oh no.
Ronnie for not
Who did
following
not-
David.
We're not following Dave. You get into the car. You drive.
Oh, did you mean follow like right now? Come into the thing? I thought you meant like look for me in like research or some shit like that.
Okay. I mean, they're still there. You can go back.
Nope. I mean, I already left. I still would have done the same thing, but I didn't know that that's what he meant.
When you get back to your parents' shop, you instinctively go to like look for the book that you were supposed to drop off.
Well, I still have it, right?
No.
Where'd it go?
Make an int check.
Like it just vanished out of my hands? No.
You must have dropped it. So with that, you take 1 sanity point for witnessing what you saw with David, and you take just 1 sanity point from this roll.
Oops. Gotta edit. Oh, so I lose 2 total?
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you check the truck, it's not there. Probably dropped it in the theater, maybe on the
Yeah.
street.
Maybe when I freaked the fuck out.
Yeah.
When I started hallucinating.
Yeah. So if it's in the theater, I mean,
Close enough.
yeah. But yeah, do you do anything else, or do you go to bed for the evening, or try to?
I try to go to sleep. And that puts me at 5 bad luck from 4.
Yeah, but you can
You
remove
gave me
1.
You gave me a bad luck as well. Okay.
So you still have 4.
Okay. I forgot to go back and make bad luck things for everybody. Does anybody else still
Yeah.
have bad luck?
I think I do.
Do you know how much?
No.
Okay.
I think Stanley had like 2 left because I used up some of his. But I think it was just Stanley and Ronnie.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. Other people that I feel like I remember from last night that were not, or from last game that were not necessarily going to bed was Chris and Melissa, right? You were studying the other spell book.
Was it the spell book or that funny orb that I took?
Probably a combination of both. I think it was more the book where you could actually read it and gain some headway.
Yeah, that makes sense. I remember we were researching something, so yeah.
And then Melissa last game, they did not have a handout for this, but in your journal, there is the discovery of witchcraft, a handout that I made,
Okay.
which it is an actual book. So there's actually two handouts. The discovery of witchcraft and then the John the Baptist illusion. So a little bit of a history lesson, but basically the discovery of witchcraft, it was published originally in 1584. And there it's basically they talk about the prosecution of those accused of witchcraft was irrational, not Christian. And they also go through some of the stagecraft illusions back in those days. Which one of them I just put up there because I thought was interesting was the John the Baptist illusion, where basically in that stage illusion, you have two performers, one person that lays on the table and their head is in a hole underneath the table, and then another person that's sitting underneath the table and their head pops up on a hole or out of a hole where it's like looking like on a plate. So it's kind of just more historical and informational,
Okay.
but that's still something that was in Memphis's house. This other book, find my handout.
Is it the thaumaturgical one?
The Book of Ebon.
Oh, yes.
So when both of you are reading that book, you do find a spell. There's multiple, like, what you think spells in the book, but you do find, like, a spell that you do, like, you don't believe in magic, but if you spent 24 hours, or not necessarily 24 hours, the average person would be 24 hours, you guys could probably learn it sooner. You could potentially learn a spell, in essence.
So I just checked my notes and it said I'm already learning the spell. So I think I
Right.
wrote that down at the end of last session. So
Yeah.
I'm spending the time to do that. I guess I don't sleep.
Right. Well, and then, like, if you can either choose to not sleep. I mean, you're already kind of, you went upstairs in the attic, right?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, you don't know if you need to sleep.
I don't need to sleep. This is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm pulling the academic all-nighter. I gotta know
Right.
more.
Yeah.
I gotta understand it.
Melissa, would you be staying up too?
I mean, she was not planning on learning a spell, no. Like, that is interesting, and it's interesting that people back then thought that was real,
Yeah.
but we know better now. This is purely historical.
All right. So Chris, we'll say in, like, pulling an all-nighter, we'll say like mid-morning, you pretty much know in theory the spell
Excellent.
of call forth ye from beyond. When you attempt to use it, that is when we will adjust the mythos rating or your mythos score.
Sounds good. If we go back to the house, I'm gonna try to use it.
There you go. All right.
Probably the place to do it.
Yeah.
Or the theater, maybe. I don't know. Anybody that I missed doing stuff in the overnight? Okay. And I think we can just skip on to morning. My assumption is that everybody probably like mid-morning was gonna meet at the magic shop to kind of
That makes-
reconvene.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
So we'll probably say it's like 10:30-ish, because some people had late nights.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a brunch thing. Probably Chris, you're probably the last one to arrive.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
I would imagine it'd be Stanley, Melissa, and then you coming in probably at like the 10:45-ish.
And it's obvious that she hasn't slept.
Yeah.
Hair's a mess. Big dark circles under her eyes.
I guess question for Ronnie, do you want to share with anyone what happened the night before?
Not like him going to drop off the book. He doesn't share
Yeah.
that because, well, who knows that we took who was there? It was Betsy, it was Mom and Chris
Me.
And Melissa.
Melissa.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would let the three of you know that I went to go return the item after everybody went to sleep to the previous owner. I will make sure that I will not let this be known when Dad is there. In fact, I might even do it when Mom's not there. I might just tell Chris and Melissa, and not because Mom will tell Dad. So I'll pull Melissa and Chris aside and just be like, just so you know, I went to go return that book last night. I got there and I had it. It was in my hand. But they must have had like some sort of gas or hallucinogens in there because a bunch of weird stuff happened. And I got scared and I ran and I must have dropped the book in the theater. So it's probably back in the theater somewhere. So hopefully he finds it and nobody thinks that it was stolen. But I just
What
thought you
sort of
guys would know. But I'm willing to bet that some of the magic there had to have been used with like hallucinogens or something, because I saw stuff that I shouldn't have, that wasn't possible, wasn't realistically possible.
Do you want to share what you saw, or would you rather not?
I mean, there was a big black starry hole in one of those chests that what's his name came out of during the magic show, and my brother walked out of it and started telling stuff to me. It was like, follow me into the stars and stuff like that. It was weird.
Well, Melissa, you're more on the medical end. But sounds hallucinogenic to me.
I would agree.
The only thing that got me is he told me that the gun that he had, I shouldn't let anyone see it because there's no serial numbers on it. And so then I took out the gun that I hadn't actually ever looked at, and the serial numbers were gone. And I don't know how I wouldn't have known that for hallucinogens to tell me that.
You might have guessed, though. I mean, maybe it was a subconscious thought you had.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It was weird.
That is
And
strange, though.
why were you returning the book?
Because it wasn't ours, and I don't want him to think it was stolen. And ultimately, it belongs. I mean, technically, it belongs to Memphis, doesn't it?
Unclear on that.
Yeah.
Nick
But-
kind of is fuzzy, kind of does. It's been a while, so I don't exactly remember the nuances.
It did.
Yeah.
It had like Memphis up in the from what you saw in the upstairs library, had like I don't know if monogram is the right word, but he had like plates on his books.
Oh, yeah, book plates.
Yep.
Right.
With his actual initials, which was AS.
Yeah, out of character, I don't really remember exactly why I wanted to return it. I think it
Yeah.
was just to make sure that it doesn't come back to us.
Well, it went, yeah, and your father said to destroy it.
Right, but it's not ours to destroy. Not like, you know,
Yeah.
my brother's stuff. David's stuff was ours to destroy because he's gone.
Oh, okay. Well, it just would have been nice to be able to examine it, because if it was Memphis's and Harold is potentially a suspect in whatever is going on with Memphis and maybe even the murders, like, there could have been something in it.
Didn't we already? I could have swore you guys already looked at it.
I think it was just your dad and your mom and you looked at it,
Oh.
Yeah.
but it spooked your dad.
Well, then I will relay what I saw. I said it was just a bunch of mumbo jumbo, like how to supposedly do real magic. I do air quotes. Some of the same stuff that got my brother killed, I think.
Hmm.
Very similar to a lot of the weird stuff he had.
William and Betsy, make a listen check with advantage. And Nick, you can knock down a bad luck.
What are you
Sounds
guys
good.
talking about in here?
Betsy failed
Magic.
both.
Whoa. Betsy.
Betsy's busy making pancakes,
Yep.
Bacon
and
pancakes.
she heard that she sees that Chris looks like she's been up all night. So she's making extra coffee in addition to strong tea, because she doesn't know which one Chris likes, and she has to be prepared, because that's like
There you
the
go.
perfect housewife thing to do.
Fantastic.
We were starting to talk about some of the books we had found yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a couple things too. I was looking through a journal. I think it was Memphis's journal.
Hmm.
Oh,
He details his trip into the Himalayas or wherever it was he was. Bhutan.
Hmm.
He
anything helpful?
huh?
Anything helpful?
Well, it talks about a legend of a Migoi. I don't know what that is. And he was looking for this mystic. They found him, and apparently he started doing like magic miracles or something like that. Memphis says he levitated his shoe. Memphis sort of attributed it to hallucinogenics, and then like his entries get shorter and more unhinged. I don't know what was happening, but he talks about carrying out something called the call tonight, and that they all have to stand at this tower at a appointed time, something about his eyes. And he goes into ranting about spheres, and he
Did he
looked
say-
for remains, but there were none. He copied some symbols. And I think the brigands was just a story he made up. Chasing this wise man who did some kind of ritual, it looks like.
Interesting.
A magic ritual.
Everybody can make an int check when Stanley mentions the spears, and Chris, you can have an advantage on that.
Thanks.
Oh, maybe he's talking
Oh.
about like ghosts, you know? He talk about orbs and I don't know.
So let's see.
I did get a success.
Yep. So Chris and Betsy, right?
Yep.
So Betsy, like as they're talking, you're coming out with the pancakes. And you, well, both you and Chris kind of make eye contact. And at first, like you were gonna give Chris like your special coffee to help her wake up a little bit. And then both of you remember that when he says spears, there was the puzzle box that had orbs in them. And Chris,
So
you
it's-
have one of the orbs.
Chris was actually going to ask Stanley if the journal mentioned how many orbs. Or
He just
spheres.
says the spheres and then he says I see a bunch of times.
How many times does it say I see?
Like 10 times.
Betsy will take out like chocolate chips and place them on Chris's pancake like the spheres were put into the box. And she's like, a little chocolate will help give you a little energy for the morning.
Oh, chocolate
Thanks.
chips.
And then she's like, and for you, Stanley, it's like a half a handful because you need way more calories than the rest of us.
Question for the keeper.
Mhm.
Does the amount of times the journal says I see match to how many orbs were in that chest?
Ooh, good question.
Yeah, let me look.
Tricksy,
it-
that one is.
Says
Tricksy
it 10
indeed.
times, and I think we had like 8 orbs.
Yeah, I thought there were 7 or 8.
Yeah, there might have
Yeah.
been 6 to 8, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't anticipate that they match, but I figured I should ask.
Yeah, my brain wants to say 7, but I don't remember.
yeah, that's what I feel like I remember, and I'm looking in the module.
Anyways, this old guy's name that he
Yeah.
meets, his name was Maker of Gates.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if there were 8 spheres in the box and 2 gates
Well,
on the magic stage.
There was 7 spheres in the box. I did
7
confirm it.
spheres.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it is bring up an interesting point that he did have. There's, I think it was William. You noticed during the performance that the gate boxes that Harold was using used to be Memphis's
Oh,
because they had Egyptian hieroglyphs on them, but
right.
they had been painted over.
I'll mention that to everybody.
There was another thing I couldn't really make sense of. Do we know anybody by the name of Phillips? No,
Do
not
we?
you, William.
I don't know.
I don't believe so.
Anyways, Memphis talked about this person named Phillips, who states, why it must be like math or physics or something that I didn't study that. YS is coterminous with all time and space. And he talks about opening the way, no frontier would be forbidden. He's talking about like traveling through space. It's through the very structures of the cosmos. This stuff sounds like madness, but
Melissa, you're smart. I mean, you've probably taken some college math courses. Aren't like Y and X's and stuff used in things like that? Maybe you can figure it out.
Chris is
You think
visibly offended.
think it's a math equation? I mean, there are more axes than just 2. But none of them are S, as far as I know. Unless it means
Maybe
space. But that doesn't make sense.
maybe some advanced math? I mean, we could go check with some of the teachers.
what does coterminous mean?
Well, let's
do you
look
have a-
up my Webster's dictionary.
You might want to
Yeah.
use the encyclopedia, honey. Remember, the salesman came about 3 weeks ago. We got the whole new set.
That's
Let me take a
right.
look.
Like, I asked Nick know what it means, but I don't think Ronnie would know what it means.
I feel like Chris would probably know what it means.
Sharing a common boundary.
Yeah.
Or
Has the same
extent in
boundaries.
space, time, or meaning.
Yep.
See, there is space in math.
Yeah, they call it geometry.
So he's saying
And Ronnie goes,
YS.
oh, so like not like outer space, but like the space between me and you.
Or like here in New York, or
He's
Well,
saying YS shares space or a common boundary with all time and space, which means YS is everywhere.
So as a math equation, wouldn't that mean that YS equals space
and time. Time was in there too, honey.
and time? That's a good point.
But it
She's like-
doesn't. It's doesn't say it's. It says it's coterminous with time and space. How can it be time and space if it's coterminous with it? It's something else.
I honestly, my knowledge of higher math is not that great. Not at least not to the like Betsy said, we might want to maybe talk to a mathematician to figure out how this algebra works. I don't know.
does anybody have either a high education or a mathematics?
My education's pretty good. It's an 80.
Okay, so hear me.
mine's a 60.
Hear me out. Gambling is just math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
The gambling is statistics.
Which is
True,
a type of math.
but odds. Yeah, odds, statistics.
So have a decent education.
My
I
education's a
don't
90.
seem to have an educational skill.
It's
it's
a main
major.
attribute.
It's a
Yeah,
main
it's a
attribute.
Oh, never mind. I'm
I have
not horrible.
76 education.
And
Dear
then
Lord.
William, did you roll a perception or a listen check earlier when Betsy failed?
I don't think William did.
I don't think I did. Here, I'll do that right now. Unless it doesn't. Oh, I got a failure. Okay.
Okay. Well, you're safe, Ronnie.
Yeah, I think he did roll and failed before as well.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Can I roll my Cthulhu Mythos? It's at a 2, but I've been up all night and I'm feeling weird. And YS is not usually a math, like they don't usually go together in math. It's like S and something else or X and Y and not.
Yeah.
Can I roll a Cthulhu Mythos? Because I'm just like, what's going on? It's
Yeah.
gotta be weird, right?
Anybody can roll a Cthulhu Mythos.
Unless you don't have it.
I so failed.
You could spend 70 luck though.
I
Who
do
Uh,
has
not
70
have.
luck in this game?
I have 48 luck. That's
Uh,
not going to get me there.
can
Does
we
making a
donate luck
Cthulhu
to other?
mythos give it a check mark or no? It doesn't look like on the sheet
I
it gets
don't
a
think
check
so.
mark.
I think if I give you information from it, it can go up higher.
It goes up as your magic score goes up.
Yep.
That was David's thing, not mine.
So Chris, I will give you this because you have been up all night and your mythos score is going to be changing.
Cool.
You like you kind of you take the book, the journal from Stanley and read the page that he's referencing.
Mhm.
And like what you said is exactly right. Like it's like Y dash S isn't a math problem or isn't like typically in mathematics. And then you also know that like there was more to the sentence. Let me see if I can don't know if I can pop it out, but
Yeah, it said YS is conterminous with all time and space. If I can reliably open the way, no frontier would be forbidden. I could travel the very structures of the cosmos as a spider might traverse the joists and eaves of a house.
yeah. So, well, and I guess I'm not even going to make you guys roll a psychology roll because it's pretty obvious. There's a distinct shift in his personality.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very clearly that he's talking about like space and like probably more I'm going to say is the wrong thing.
I got an idea.
Astrology versus mathematics
Astronomy.
or astronomy. Yeah, I always mix those two up.
I got an idea though.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're probably going to go back to the house, and he had an office. We should look in his contacts or his Rolodex or whatever for a Phillips.
Oh, that's a great idea, Stanley. You get some extra chocolate chips.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We can find this Phillips. This person obviously knows what's going on.
Well, he might know
I
what's
agree.
going on in that book, but that doesn't answer the 3 guys that got murdered in the room.
I might have a way to figure that out. Maybe. But I've also been up all night, so don't actually listen to me
Well,
at the moment.
but if we find where Phillips is and he can answer what this means, then maybe we can find out where Memphis went.
Yeah.
But that
Question.
still doesn't answer the 3 guys that were murdered.
Yeah, but maybe Memphis can tell us more.
I got a question for the keeper.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have a phone in our house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they're talking about that. I'm going to go over to the phone and I'm going to call Ingrid.
Oh, okay. Um, make I won't make you roll a luck roll. She answers. Hello.
Oh, hello, Ingrid. This is William.
Oh, hi, William.
Hello. Sorry to bother you so early in the morning here, but
Someone's been given extra skill dice.
a question had come up and I wanted to know, and I figured it may be best to ask you if you recall anyone that your father dealt with by the name of Philip. Do you know who that might be in reference to? I don't
Ah,
remember anyone at the shop that dealt with your father, but I admit I'm not in all of the social circles.
I,
And magicians tend to be reclusive.
I, a Philip?
Yes, a person by the name of Philip. Unfortunately, the information we have didn't give a last name. So admit I figured I would reach out to you to see if you know anything or
Maybe,
if,
well, do you know a little bit more? So I can think of a couple, but not really. I mean, not, they were just associates. They weren't like any family or anything. Is it
a
in relation to where, do you think this Philip might know where my father is?
well, it's possible, although I don't want to necessarily get your hopes up. I believe it might be somewhat related to his trip to uh, where was it? Bhutan? Was that where it was?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to find it on my notes here. It may have something to do with that, but admittedly, I'm still just trying to get a better idea of where to start looking than as to give you more practical information. We're still kind of taking a look into the what had
Well,
happened.
unfortunately, if it's connected with Bhutan, father wouldn't talk to me about that at all, even though I tried to pry and w- we didn't, we have, we haven't spoken much since that trip.
Um, do
I,
you think it would have been somebody that might have traveled with him to
no,
Bhutan?
he went with Josephine. The two of them traveled together.
Right, I remember that. I just didn't know if this Philip was also a travel partner of theirs.
Not that I know of, unless it's somebody that was also performing in Bhutan. But
Seems like a very odd place to perform.
mhm,
Granted, if one is stuck on a layover, one makes do with what they can, I suppose.
mhm. Uh, since I have you on the phone,
Oh, yes, dear.
I, Harold has been acting very strange.
Oh,
Yeah, him and I got into an argument after the
oh,
performance, but he's just been very, I don't know, very distant. Um, did he kept talking about losing something,
oh.
and I know that Ronnie was looking into some stuff that I don't know. He's not here, so I feel at ease to say this, but I'm a little concerned that maybe Harold might know something.
Maybe he's keeping something in regards to this?
Yeah, I know he's keeping something from me, but like I said, we got into a row, and I don't know. He he went off to get some distance, but if he comes around, maybe I'll give you a call to see if somebody can talk to him or.
Uh, yeah, absolutely. In fact, uh, I'll try to, I mean, uh,
Maybe talk to Ronnie, because I think Ronnie said something about that book being from the house.
yeah, I can ask Ronnie about that. Admittedly, after um, the accident last night and getting that young person to the hospital to, Betsy and I didn't stay up too much later. As soon as we got home, we pretty much went straight to bed. It
Mm.
was a exciting night, to be sure.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately the ending could have been better,
Well,
but I just think Harold needs definitely some time off, and I hope I'm just overreacting. It could just be stress.
and that may be. Admittedly, when you're trying to perfect your various tricks and what have you, understandably, that can get very stressful, especially when you start to showcase them.
Mm.
Um, and if ever, dear, you need to talk to someone or um, just have a visit, I mean, I've always thought of you as uh, sort of the daughter I the daughter I always wanted but never had. So,
Oh,
if you ever, Betsy and I would be happy to, maybe have coffee with you sometime if you are available, or if you just need someone to talk to, we are always here for you.
yeah, that would be great. I really appreciate that, and I do think of you as a second family as well. Are you going back over to the house today?
I don't know exactly what the plans are yet, although there may be some further investigation. We'll definitely keep you appraised if
Okay. Well, if you
as
need
things
me
go.
to meet you over there to let me know what you've learned, I'm definitely open.
Yeah, we definitely we let us get our admittedly, I'm a little discombobulated with everything that's going on so far, and I know Ronnie and their David's friends are helping us to sort some of this out, and we're still. I'm still trying to put all the pieces together, admittedly, and I think they are too. So,
Mhm.
but we will definitely keep you appraised, my dear.
Okay, sounds good. If I think of who that Phillips is, I'll give you a call.
Sounds sounds delightful. Will you don't you worry, dear. We'll get to the bottom of this. And then I'll just go back to the rest of the party and say Ingrid has no idea who Phil is, supposedly.
Well, if you don't think that the house is going to have it, there is one other avenue.
What is that, Stanley?
We could talk to his ever willing, most congenial assistant, Josephine.
Yeah, yeah.
Betsy takes the fork and scoops off some of the chocolate chips.
A volunteer as tribute.
Well, just because Ingrid didn't know who Phillips was doesn't mean that it's not in his Rolodex.
No, that is very true. And she was interested in learning what we had learned so far, although I admittedly told her that we are still very much trying to put the pieces together, which I feel is probably the best and most honest answer I could give, considering everything that you have all discovered.
Did anyone out of character, did anyone mention that the boxes belonged to Memphis during the show? The boxes during the show belonged to Memphis?
Yes, I think I did
Okay.
actually mention they have a new coat of paint, but they were looks like they were originally Memphis's because you can see some of the Egyptian hieroglyphics he had on them.
Why does he have Memphis's things?
Well, I mean, Harold was Memphis's protege. I mean, granted, they did have a falling out, but uh, I I mean, I don't know all the ins and outs of that other than that they,
See,
kind of had a bitter
because he had other things that were
separation
Memphis's
falling out
too.
about a year or so ago. But maybe maybe Memphis had gifted them to him at some point. I mean, Harold and Ingrid are engaged. Ingrid is Memphis's daughter. Maybe it was some sort of engagement gift. I admit I don't know the
Someone
specific
is gonna get an
details of the
extra skill
boxes
dice.
other than I knowing
Betsy
they
gets extra skill dice. Thank you, Tux. I'll just be like, I don't know. It just seems too suspicious that he has all this different Memphis stuff after they've had a falling out.
William, you kind of do know that the falling out was pretty rough.
Yeah. I know it was they were very
And
like the rumors as to what had actually happened, I don't know the specifics, but they definitely had a hard falling out.
I wonder where he was the night of the murder.
Well, Ingrid did mention that Harold was upset last night after the show, and they got into an argument. It sounded like he was missing something, or something went missing. I don't really know as to what, but he did go off on his own for a bit. She did mention. And I don't believe his return, if I remember correctly, this is Brian saying this, if I remember correctly, didn't come back yet.
no.
He was having some type of headache issue. I did give him some aspirin. Maybe if his headache was bad enough. I've heard of people at the hospital saying that they're seeing like colors and they can almost like taste sound. Maybe he needed to seclude himself somewhere dark.
Taste sound.
Like Jessica.
Yes, like Jessica.
Out of character, who's Jessica?
Our old friend. She was a journalist, I think.
Yeah.
Or an author.
An
Author,
author.
Oh.
And she went insane.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she went insane.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Let's see. So, kind of just to kind of recap some things that you just discussed this morning. In the journal, there's spears, and there's also the spears that you guys found in the puzzle box. Harold has 2 things of Memphis's that were kind of hidden. The other option is you could try to talk to Josephine about the trip. And see what she has to say. I think, William, you did get her address before when you went to the library. And then there's also the spell that Chris has been working on, which I don't know. Well, Chris, if you want to expand upon what the spell does.
I don't think that she wants to admit
she
that
did?
she learned a spell. I
Okay.
think she just wants to go to the house and try it
And
while
try it.
everybody is doing something.
Okay.
So that if it works, she can be like, guys, I did something. And if it doesn't work, she can be like, well, that didn't work. Good scientific test.
Yeah. And then the previous clues that we had were from the police and from Orson that the 3 people wouldn't have killed each other. And that they died in very odd ways. And then also that Memphis has been gone for about 6 weeks.
There was some very strange things happening at that house when we went there. And I'd be a little uncomfortable if all of us didn't go there.
I think we should go as well.
What do you mean weird stuff happened at the house? I didn't see anything weird.
Yeah, there was some strange stuff happening.
Admittedly, they must have had some sort of acoustic audio manipulation, like a record or gramophone or something.
Well, and it's suspected that the Leary brothers were hired by someone. If we were able to gain access to their home, do you think there would be a note or something from whomever hired them?
Me and Stanley
What if
talked to
it's
the
Harold's?
me and Stanley talked to the
Wanting
people they worked for, and they were working on their own.
on their own or hired by someone who's not worse?
It was their own
It was-
side job.
It was their own side job.
They said they did commonly did burglary jobs on their own, trying to build their credit up.
They were trying to make themselves their own entity, so they didn't have to work for someone else.
Okay.
Yep.
So we're going back to the house?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like the house or Josephine.
I don't think that we want to split people to go to Josephine's if everybody else is going to the house.
I
Mhm.
agree.
Okay.
I think house then to Josephine's.
Okay.
Should we, Ingrid had asked to keep her updated. Should I let her know we're heading to the house then?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay.
Don't tell her not to let her husband know, her fiance know. Keep him out of the loop. In case
You
he
say
is
house,
involved.
then Josephine. We could go Josephine then house. If you
Well,
plan on
true.
seeing Josephine at all.
True. I guess we haven't seen Josephine yet. She might know places to check in the house that we haven't looked yet. She was Memphis's assistant for a
She
long
might
time.
know who Phillips is or the keeper of gates.
True.
Ronnie obviously wants nothing to do with talking to Josephine.
You can wait outside.
I don't blame you,
buddy.
I will wait. Yep, I will wait somewhere far away.
No worries.
I don't even want to see scene in the car.
Well, yeah, you could just park down the street.
Yep.
Some of us could go to the house, and some people could go talk to Josephine.
Yeah, you
That's
can be
never
our
gone bad.
driver. We might need a quick getaway with
Well-
a hot head like her.
right?
That's
Well-
true, Ronnie. If you want to drive the truck, you can.
There you go.
How many cars does this group have?
One, I think.
I think just Betsy's.
Yeah.
Well, and maybe if we call Ingrid, maybe she has a vehicle and could pick us up, and then that group could head to the house, and then those that want to join Ronnie in the most dangerous of
Okay, well, just please don't go
interactions.
too far into the house.
No, we'll stay. We won't go into the house, or we'll wait
Okay.
for you to go into the house, but we'll meet you at the house. How about that?
That sounds good.
Okay.
I don't want anybody falling downstairs and dying because they were pushed by something.
I would also not want to be pushed downstairs. So yes.
Okay.
And he kind of gives you kind of one of those little bops on the shoulder, but that like even if he put strength behind it, there'd be no strength behind it. And then playing like,
The
haha, you
and
can.
the only reason Ronnie's not like saying anything is because he just doesn't want to get knocked out.
Oh, what do you mean?
Because Ronnie's like, "There's nothing in the house. What the fuck are you talking about?" Are you going nuts too? But he doesn't want to say any of that. 'Cause he doesn't want to make Stanley upset.
Okay, so there's 2 people going to Josephine's.
Stanley
there
will go to
3?
Josephine's.
Stanley's
Betsy will go
going-
with Stanley.
Okay.
Betsy's going with Stanley. Ronnie?
Oh, Ronnie's driving everybody, right? We only got 1 vehicle, so.
No, somebody.
Well,
they're
let
going to
me-
call Ingrid.
Let me call Ingrid real quick and be like, and we don't necessarily have to role play this if you don't want,
Right.
but just to see like, looks like a few of us are getting ready to go to the house. Would you be willing to pick us up as Ronnie has an errand he needs to run?
Oh yeah, that'd be great. I'll probably be over in about, we'll just say an hour.
I mean, Stanley
Sounds
has an
good.
errand he wants to run because I'm coming with the house.
An hour gives us time.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, so it's Stanley and Betsy.
Stanley, Betsy, and Ronnie's driving us, and is going to park.
Well,
on
no,
the
if we
other
have
side
2
of the
vehicles,
block.
I don't need to drive you.
Yeah.
I can go with the Josephines. I don't. Melissa doesn't
Okay.
really
I was
care
only
for
driving
me.
because you needed the car to go talk to Josephine. And I didn't want to see Josephine, but if we got 2 cars, then I don't need to go anywhere near Josephine.
Okay. Then
So-
Betsy, you can drive us to Josephine's.
That
Alright.
works.
And Chris is going to the house. Melissa, do you want to go to Josephine's or the house?
I'll go to Josephine's. That's fine.
Okay. And then William will also go to the house.
Yes.
So we'll start with the Josephine group first. Because yay. So William gives you the address. It's a little bit on the outskirts of town. And surprisingly, it's in a very like poor section of town. It's actually not too far away from what apartment? Because wasn't David's apartment and also the second apartment in the poor part of town?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're talking about the artist. I think that was by the train tracks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So,
that
like,
was in the
here,
poor. Yeah, and that was
in
in the
the
poor
same-
section of town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is probably in the same area. So Stanley,
Ronnie's not here, so Stanley just keeps his mouth shut about what other thing is here.
But yes, Stanley, you're very familiar. You get to the apartment. I believe all of you know about her car, right?
Yeah, she drives a really nice car, doesn't
Yeah.
she?
Yep.
Yeah. You don't see it on the street.
Who would park that on the street?
Right. Well,
Yeah.
but you don't see it like parked around the apartment building.
Is there like a garage at the apartment building?
Nope.
Well, she might be
Well-
gone, but at least we can check.
We'll just go knock and see if she's there.
So yeah, not hard to
I go
like
up to
find
the-
her
I
apartment.
tell her, I say, hey, can you tell us which one is Josephine Lynch's apartment? You know, blonde hair, one eye.
He's like, yeah, 301. Good luck.
Why? Good luck.
He's psycho.
Tip my hat.
He just says, you'll find out.
Just
That-
make sure if you shake your hand, you count your fingers afterwards. Just saying.
I head up to
Um,
301.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
you guys, you go up 2 flights of stairs. You get to the apartment. You knock, but there's no answer.
Miss Lynch. It's Mr. Ace. We met at the funeral. Miss Lynch.
Miss Lynch, it's Betsy Wilcox. I'm friends of the family. Can you let us in, please?
Kind of wait.
I'm gonna listen at the door, see if I hear anything.
Make a listen check.
Maybe I'll get a check mark. No, of course not.
Nope. You don't think you hear anything.
I
Can
don't
I
know,
knock on the door like across the way?
At the other door.
Just look
Yeah.
at Betsy. I don't think she's home.
Sure. You knock on the door. Roll luck.
A lock is
Um. Whoa!
Welcome in, Raiders! Hello, Sun Punch Studios. How are you doing? Welcome on in. How was your stream? Just get a shout out for Sun Punch Studios. Welcome on in, everybody. Hello, hello, and thank you for the raid. Awesome, awesome. Hope you guys are having... Yeah, we are. We're doing some Call of Cthulhu. Call of Cthulhu. We do tabletop role playing every single Wednesday night. So welcome in. What were you guys doing? Just got out of a huge 29 character boss fight. Oh, that sounds like a game we did once. A little
That's
Curse
a
of the
raid.
Crimson Throne. That's a Curse of the Crimson Throne battle for us from 2-3 years ago.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's specifically. I'm just saying we had that huge battle with a lot of moving parts.
Oh, with the Iliosa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like 20 something.
A 13,
people.
14 hour long stream we did.
16.
16 hours. Yeah, 16 hour long stream. Longest stream ever on this channel. But welcome on in, Raiders. What were you guys playing? What system were you playing? What system were you playing? Tell us about the game. Tell us about your characters, and we'll respond to you all in the chat. Welcome on in. I'll let the game continue, but we'll see you guys in chat.
So I'm gonna say, Melissa, with your luck roll,
Nice.
you like go across the hall to knock, and you kind of Josephine at her apartment does have like a welcome mat
Mm-hmm.
and like a little like potted plant that's actually not alive anymore. And you kind of knock it with your foot, and you actually see like a hidden hidey key.
Oh,
So before you actually go to like knock on the neighbor door, you see that, and if she's not there, you could take a peek-see to make sure.
yeah.
Or you could still be a good neighbor.
Yeah, I'll take a closer look.
Okay. So Betsy, Stanley, you see Melissa finds a key under a flower pot and opens the door.
Why didn't we think of that?
I mean, we can't just leave the key sitting out. Who knows who would find it and do what? I think
Well, if
Betsy just
anyone-
walks in.
If anyone asks, I mean, her plant is dead and we haven't seen her in days. We're worried about her health.
There you go.
Well, we probably should be worried about her health, so that's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Good thing we have a nurse along. It gives us legitimacy.
Oh, should I go grab my bag from the truck?
It
Only
could be a
if
good
needed.
idea.
Betsy runs down and grabs her nurse's
Oh.
bag
Okay.
from the
I'll
truck and
step-
brings it up.
I'll step inside.
Okay.
Miss Lynch, you in here?
Neither of you get a response, but as you go into her apartment, while Betsy, you're going downstairs to get your bag. Melissa, Stanley, you see that she's converted this one bedroom apartment into an elaborate walk-in closet.
Oh,
So this is the poor part of town, but she has an extensive wardrobe containing all of her stage outfits. They're immaculate and ready to go. Like she has a walk-in closet of, like if you see the walk-in closets with the girls that have like their outfits all together and coordinated and hanging up and pressed, and then like the shoe walls and everything, it's that coordinated.
so
Like-
her studio apartment is 60% closet.
It's 80% closet. There's a bathroom, which is pretty much a makeup station, and then like you're not sure even where the bed is.
Wow.
You start going through it. You also notice in this closet there are full-length mirrors. Well, there's full-length mirrors everywhere, but then there's also various sizes of mirrors hanging up. There's stand mirrors. Like it's like if she went into any sort of store and there was a mirror for sale, she bought it. So there was like the original aesthetic of the full-length mirrors that would make sense with a walk-in closet to be able to see your full outfit. And then there's like literally a mirror at every corner. And you can kind of see where there's been like pictures taken down and just like kind of shoved off behind some clothes to make way for a mirror.
Does it seem pretty clear that there's nobody in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and even the kitchen, you go into the kitchenette, and that's like the other kind of 10% without clothes, but there's still mirrors in the kitchen.
Hmm.
Betsy, you go downstairs and you get your medicine bag. Go ahead and make a listen check.
Woo-hoo. Ooh, extreme success.
Okay. Do you have a mechanics?
Like a mechanical repair?
Yeah, or any sort
Yes.
of. Okay.
I do have a mechanic repair.
What's your score in that?
A 10.
So you kind of know the basics about cars.
I taught my son everything he knows with his mechanical repair of 5.
Yeah, basically. You do hear like the sound of something with a very powerful engine a few streets over.
I book it up to the room.
Okay.
With my little medical bag in hand.
Yeah.
And like, I think she's coming.
Oh,
I could
Think
hear
we-
her car from a couple blocks away, but she'll be here quick, I assume.
Think we should step outside, maybe wait for her outside the door.
yeah. Put the key back where we found it.
Lock it
Okay.
back up.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys lock up. And you guys make it back downstairs, and are you going to head to your car?
I think we should wait for her at the desk.
Agreed.
Is there a place to like
Okay.
sit down and like flip through a paper or something?
No, it's a dive. So you
There's
kind of just
barely
like,
places to stand.
yeah. Like, honestly, standing outside would probably be more comfortable.
Okay.
But you can stand inside. But as she drives up, everybody make another listen check.
Gotta get one of these. Whoa! A crit!
Nice.
Wow.
A critical! A
Another raid!
Music for my critical.
Welcome on in, Melty. How are you doing? Welcome in. How is your stream? How's it going? Guys, if you don't know Melty is part of the Black Collar Collective. Awesome group of people. Melty, how are you? What was your stream? How were things? What is up? And welcome on in. Thank you for the raid. There's Melty. You can go give Melty a follow right there. I just was scrolling through my lurks to see who was on. I had just seen you on it. I was just about to pull up your lurky, and then that happened. We are doing some tabletop role playing today. Hello, Namvin. Welcome on in. We're doing some tabletop role playing Call of Cthulhu. It's a 1920s horror type game. Playing some Deltarune. I don't even know what that is.
That's like the successor to what was the? It was the one with like the 2D, really Undertale.
Oh, okay. Undertale. There's Namvin says Undertale.
Yeah.
Cool. How was it? Did you guys have fun? And thank you so much for the raid. I will let these fine people continue their game, and I will continue chatting with you guys in the chat.
Okay. So, Melissa failed. Betsy failed. Stanley, you got a critical success. So with that critical success, you also hear the car engine. And you hear it slow down. But like, you're a boxer, right? So you're used to like reacting very quickly. And you're used to having like kind of a danger sense. And that danger sense clicks on for you as you see the car, like a car slowing down and intentionally going by the building very slow. And with that,
Everyone,
like,
I think you need to move back into the hall.
yeah, you guys will get an advantage. Well, one, this isn't a surprise attack. And two, I'm going to give you advantage on your dodge rolls. As
Get out now.
the car window goes down, and outside, like the car window goes down, and you see the muzzle of, oh, why can't I close this? A Thompson submachine gun.
Oh,
Roll.
You know, for hunting rabbits.
If there's one thing
Yeah.
Betsy hates, it's doctors that don't appreciate nurses. If it's two things Betsy hates, it's getting shot at. Success. Let's see if she gets better. Success.
Like, for some reason.
Yeah, so I
oh
succeeded.
no!
Oh, there we go.
People might have to start
extreme
start
success.
giving you
I
guys
do.
some people might need to start spending channel points to help you guys out.
Yeah.
Well, I failed, but I didn't fumble.
You did not fumble. Well, and she's just kind of doing a spray, so I gave her disadvantage basically. So her shots just go kind of wide.
To
let's
shoot
see.
the clerk.
Yeah, I should probably roll for him.
Wow.
Usually you pay double for that
She
kind of
just
action. Kyle.
drive by
She'd
her
pay
own
double,
apartment.
Dodge.
Yeesh.
Yeah, failure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those who failed, I'm not going to do the full damage. But we'll just do, so how many people failed?
Just
None
me.
of us. Oh, Melissa.
Melissa.
I can
Um,
do full damage, except for the people who have bad luck, right? They'll get full damage.
well, Stanley made it,
And
but you can mark a bad luck off, Stanley.
Okay.
your bad luck brought us to this. I should have taken away more chocolate chips.
So-
Melissa just take 1 point of damage because, like I said, it was just a wide spray. And so, like, a bullet it actually doesn't hit you. It hits like a picture frame behind you, and the picture frame hits you. And then she like speeds off.
Betsy looks at you two and then sees that did like the counter person just get fucking rocked?
He got shot in the leg, but because I rolled a disadvantage with her, a failure. He is, well, I don't know. His failure is still 7 hit points. How many hit points does he have? Oh no,
probably
he's
ha-
alive.
But does
He's
he have a major wound?
Yeah.
Betsy will run to him then. Because she has her medical kit.
Okay. Go ahead and do first aid.
I'm gonna run outside and watch the direction the car's going.
Okay.
Hard success on that first aid.
Hey.
I kind
Maybe
of
see
want to
if I-
run upstairs.
Roll a die 3 for the healing.
1.
So he has 3 hit points now.
Wow.
Melissa, you go upstairs. Stanley, you go outside.
Yeah.
You go outside and you catch her just as she takes a left. Melissa, you go upstairs.
Yeah.
You hear like people shouting, trying to come downstairs and see what's happening. It's not a full apartment complex. So there's maybe like, you see like 4 people on the 2nd floor. It doesn't look like anybody's hurt up there though.
Like someone just drove by and shot up the place. Stay inside.
Okay, yep, we're calling the police.
Right. I would like to go and find one of her fancy scarves to use as a tourniquet.
Okay.
The fanciest, most expensive looking one.
Sounds good.
And if I happen to see her car out the window, because I have a higher vantage point, I would make note of that.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a spot when you're looking out the window. Stanley, are you going after the car?
And I don't think I can outrun a car.
Yeah.
You're not
There's
Forrest Gump?
Betsy's-
What is running after a car?
What?
I don't know how you fumble on a spot.
Did you reset? Oh, you did reset your dice. I remember. You did really well on your resetting of the dice too.
You just like you might have something in your eye too from like what happened because you just can't really seem to focus. Or maybe you're just actually a little bit shook up from
Being shot. Yeah.
that.
Oh gosh, the ricochet actually caught your brow and you're just bleeding in your eyes.
Yeah.
Head wounds just bleed terribly.
Oh, I bet she has a really fancy hat too.
Definitely. She has several. Do you guys hang around for the police?
No.
Okay.
I want to steal some shit as revenge and leave.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go tell the clerk.
Yeah,
Say,
Betsy's with the clerk.
is he conscious? He's got a major wound.
Probably at this point, no. I mean, Betsy did heal him, but Betsy probably you had to give him some of your very good pain medicine.
No.
So he's probably passing in and out of consciousness.
Hey, Betsy, I have something I can give you.
Okay.
Your son gave it to me, but seeing you in action, I think it's going to be a lot more useful in your hands than either of our hands.
Oh.
And he reaches into his like back pocket and he pulls out a prescription pad that has letterhead of Danvers Asylum on it. And he hands it over. It's a prescription pad, Dr. Berger's prescription pad from Danvers Asylum.
Oh, and then you see she just like puts it into her bag. The only
There
thing
you
I
go.
hate being shot at more than doctors. She's like, "How good are you at driving, Stanley?"
Oh, you know.
Okay, well then I'll drive. We'll get Melissa. Behind the seat though is something we might need. And she starts heading out towards the truck.
Okay.
If it's what I think it is, I'm better at driving than I am at shooting.
It is Betsy's rifle.
Okay.
It is her 30-06 bolt action.
Okay.
Mama's got a gun. Yeah. Josie's on the run.
Melissa, I would just say like just mark down some pretty clothes that you're able to grab and then you go downstairs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yes. Yes. The point is to use the fanciest clothes to
Yep.
stop my bleeding.
Yep.
More like a FU.
Yep. Yeah, you find like a pretty blue dress too that matches the scarf that you took, and it's just as easy just to take the whole thing.
How hilarious would it be if you find out that the people with the guns in the car had absolutely nothing to do with her?
That
And it
would
was
be
just
funny.
like just a random deal.
This is the poor area, yeah.
Oh.
No, I'm gonna leave the dress.
Okay,
Mess with her head more.
there you go.
What was the big idea in that?
What?
She just shoots a apartment complex up and like how would she even know that we're there?
Points to my truck outside.
Maybe her neighbor saw us go in and called her.
So are we
Told
going
her
after
how?
her, or what are we doing?
No, I think she's gone.
To the house then.
Could tell the police about it though.
Yeah, Melissa did overhear that people were calling the police.
Yeah, they should be on their way.
I'll tell them what kind of car she had and the direction she went and her name.
Okay. Yeah, they take your statements if you wait around for them.
I mean, we either wait around or we go check on the house. If she's going to the house, she could shoot up our friends.
Damn it. Okay. Let's go to the house then.
To the house.
All right. So during that time, Ingrid picks up everybody from the magic shop.
Okay.
Good.
She's driving.
And what was her husband's name again? I keep forgetting.
Harold Hawkins.
Terrell
Harold.
and his fiance, yeah.
Yeah, they aren't married yet.
Beyonce.
Yep. And let's see. Andrew, can you ping in where we had said the apartment was?
I think it was over here.
Okay.
Like maybe in these buildings across from the station,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere around that area.
What is everybody's luck score in the car?
Luck score?
Yeah, for the people going to Ingrid's or to Memphis's house.
For the house, I have a 72.
Luck?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a 50.
Okay, Chris.
$48. Luck.
Check Ingrid. Chris, go ahead and roll your luck.
Okay.
Yes. As you're driving, you do see a blue vehicle that crossed your path, but it keeps going. And you do think that the vehicle looks pretty familiar. And it's driving a little bit faster than what it should be.
I'll point it out to the others with me.
Yeah,
Anybody else think that car looks familiar?
Let me see if Ingrid.
Did you want us to roll luck?
No, just the lowest person.
Oh, okay.
Because if you're in a group, you go by the lowest person's luck score because their bad luck is everybody's bad luck.
Gotcha.
Then shouldn't have you made Nick roll?
Three times take the lowest.
Yeah, take the lowest.
We're just gonna keep my success roll and call it good.
Yeah. Does she not have a spot? She does not have a spot for whatever reason. I would think that she would have, well,
She spent all those points in Fashionista.
well, yeah, and credit rating. in French. I was just trying. Okay. I'm just gonna have her roll it in. Our success. Oh. He's like, yeah, that looks oddly like Josephine's.
Wonder where she's rushing off to.
Ingrid just kind of sighs and shrugs. I don't even want to imagine.
Fair enough.
And
Hopefully.
Ronnie, as a joke's like, yeah, she's probably going off to kill someone.
Let's not think about that.
Yeah, Ingrid's like, Ronnie, I wouldn't go that far.
I saw her pull a knife on someone. She's scary sometimes.
She does have a temper.
She's definitely not the most friendly, that's for sure.
Yes.
But onward.
Yep. You guys get to the mansion just fine. And you do wait for a little bit outside because you were gonna wait outside before
Right.
going in.
I mean, Ronnie doesn't.
Chris doesn't either. Because Chris's spell takes half an hour. She's gonna go right into the room where the people were murdered and start doing her spell.
And Ronnie will like do the on the shoulder, like pat him on the shoulder. It's like, come on, Stanley didn't see anything. There's nothing weird going on,
boy.
Dad. Come on, let's go.
Okay. I'll take Ingrid's arm, kind of
Okay.
escort her
And
in.
I'll look at Ingrid and be like, Stanley was afraid that if we didn't all go together, something bad was going to happen. He said there was weird stuff in the house, but we were all in there
Oh.
together. There wasn't anything weird going on.
No, the
Famous
weirdest
last
thing was
words.
the rats in the basement. That was the weirdest thing.
Oh,
Don't go in the basement.
yeah.
be fine.
I think I might stay on the veranda
Yeah, that's fine.
and
Stanley said
there's
he
some
saw
stairs
somebody
out
go up
here.
the stairs. Then we went upstairs and there was nobody there. So I think
Oh.
a few too many blows to his head, I think.
The
He's
the
boxing
stage
free.
might have had some sort of recording or something go off too. I thought I heard an audience at some point.
Oh,
I'll
good
stay with you,
morning.
dear, as I kind of pat Ingrid's arm.
Okay.
Right.
Chris, I think Chris, let's see. So I'm gonna move you. You said you're headed towards the prop room.
Yeah.
And
And I pull out this book so that I can read the spell. And I start doing the chanting for the spell. Maybe after Ronnie walks out of the room. After he moves on to a different part of the house.
okay, let me take a look. I'm moving William
There's
to the
chanting coming
veranda.
from the room next to yours, Ronnie.
Quiet.
Yeah,
chanting. Quiet.
Ronnie, where are you going?
So Ronnie is going to start in the room where all the props are at. Because Ronnie's looking to see where those boxes belonged.
Okay.
Because if it was stolen that night, then like there might be like a dust imprint or something like that. So he wants to see if those boxes were stolen recently, or if like they were gifted, or if we can find some sort of proof that those don't belong to Harold.
Yep.
So I start whisper chanting over by where the people were, like where their bodies were found, hoping
is
that he
also-
won't overhear me.
Let's see.
It's fine. I can
I would
realize
say,
stealth or something.
yeah, I would say maybe either stealth or fast talk. Because it's kind of like a bluff.
I'm gonna roll a stealth because I'm trying to not be heard.
And Ronnie, I will give
Oh
you
no.
the choice.
Wow.
I'm not even gonna make you. Well, I don't know. Maybe you'll both fumble. Ronnie, you can have the choice of a listen, spot, or psychology. I mean, listen and spot make a lot of sense, and I will give you advantage.
I mean, I'll give her a chance. I'll do listen, which is my lowest one. Because it makes sense because she's trying to be quiet.
Oh, but I failed so hard.
Just
Yeah.
given a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Hard success.
Yeah.
Chris is so tired. She thinks she's whispering, and
Yeah.
she's like just talking out loud, just like fully like in it, but fully thinks she's convinced she's whispering.
Yeah. And like the language she's chanting is weird.
Yeah, I
It
sit there like I'm looking at stuff, and then it's just one of those.
And
And just slowly walk over there, like just staring, like, what the are you doing?
it oddly reminds you of when you found the severed head and they were singing.
And then I stand there for a while, so she notices me standing there looking at her, like, what the fuck, to see if she responds.
Well, Chris,
So-
make a spot check with disadvantage because you fumbled to even see if you notice that he's actually staring at you.
Like I walk over to her. I don't touch her or anything. But
Well, with disadvantage, apparently I failed to notice you. I'm just like
Yeah.
really focused.
hey,
You're
hey, what are you doing?
Query for
You-
the keeper. If I say scientific experiment, will that interrupt the spell and will I have to start over? Because
Let me
if
look at the
so,
spell
she
real quick.
doesn't answer. Or can I say scientific experiment as part of the chanting? Can I just like weave it into the chant?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Let's see. So it takes 30 minutes of chanting. I believe if you get interrupted, you have to start over. But you haven't gotten that far in, so you could just, well, let's see. I would say that you're maybe 5 minutes into it. The other thing you can do, well, how many magic points do you have?
11.
Okay. So technically, for every additional magic point you spend, you can reduce the casting time by 1 minute, but you don't have enough magic points to reduce it.
Nope.
So,
So she just like looks at him and doesn't answer and goes back to like continues the chanting.
But you can, if you don't have enough magic points, spend sanity points, can't you?
No, thank you.
I thought you could. Or maybe using the magic points causes sanity points.
Using the
Usually-
magic points causes a loss of sanity.
So she doesn't respond, and I'm just like, what the hell, are you going mad too? And like, we'll take her by the arm and start bringing her out of the house.
Oh, she's gonna resist that.
Well, yeah, because you're also mad. You've also gone nuts.
Okay, let me pull up the combat.
It's clear. And I'm like, Dad, something's going on. Chris has gone nuts as well. I don't know
Nothing
what's with
going
these
on in
people.
the house, he says. Let's all go in the house, he says.
Okay.
I mean, she is holding the book. But
I'll pat Ingrid's hand for a second and be like, "Stay here, dear. I'll be right back." And I'll start heading in.
Sure. What's both of your build scores?
mine says 0, but that doesn't seem right.
It could be.
Okay.
I don't even know where that's at.
It's on the combat tab next to skills.
Let me see.
Yeah, it'd be dex, dodge, and then build.
Combat. Build. Dash. Mine is normal. I am normal
Yeah.
size.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
0, right?
0. So basically what that means is that Ronnie doesn't have an extra dice on you.
Oh, well, that's good.
And nor does he have a penalty die. So Ronnie, you would make, if you want to try to forcibly move Chris, you would make a brawling roll. And then Chris, you have the option. You could do nothing. And then the attack is an immediate success. You can try the dodge, or you can fight back, which
I
would
would
be a
love to
brawling.
dodge out of the way.
So I'm rolling brawling.
and more forcefully begin your chanting.
Yeah, brawling. Okay.
Mm,
So
we're doing great, guys.
So I'm just holding on, and you're just sitting there, and nothing's happening. Like, come
Pretty
on,
much.
come on.
yeah. So there's no damage. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
pretty much
I'm just tugging on your arm, but neither of us are going anywhere.
yeah, making literally no progress because you don't actually want to hurt her either.
Correct.
She's just planted her feet.
I just think that she's lost her shit and is just yelling, saying a bunch of mumbo jumbo crazy stuff.
William, as you go into the house, go ahead and make a listen check. Well, I mean, you can hear the conflict, but yeah, I mean, go ahead and make a listen check to try to pinpoint exactly where it is. Okay, so you're not too sure, but you can just keep moving forward. You think it's maybe from the kitchen? But you do hear Ronnie shouting for you.
Ryan, you're muted.
Oh, so I'd like to go to the rotunda because then I could listen up and down to kind of figure out which floor they're on.
Sure.
Because I don't think they originally said, I'm going to go to this floor. Like,
Right. Are you going to do another listen check at the rotunda then? I mean, you can.
if I can, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Whoa. You hear it coming from the prop room.
All right, I'll start making my way there if I can actually move my token there.
Token.
There we go.
All right. So hold on one second. Well, you see what's happening between Ronnie and Chris, and you hear Chris chanting. I forget, you don't have any Call of Cthulhu mythos, do you?
Not a bit.
Go ahead and make a stage magic roll.
Okay. Oh, no.
Yeah, you don't really even understand what she's saying, but like Ronnie, you also heard the head singing. It sounds eerily familiar to that.
Ronnie, what do you do? What's going on here?
What I'm saying, Dad. She's lost her shit too. Come on, help me get her out of this house. She started doing it as soon as we got in.
She's holding a book in her hands, if you want to look at it.
Is she looking at the book?
Yes.
I guess, can I try to use my old man strength to get the book away from Chris? Because Chris is...
Old man strength.
Old man.
Oh boy.
Well, my character is like 55 years old, like, or something like that. Like, he's...
Wow.
Not that old.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm just kind of moving you
Brian,
guys
we're
a
getting
little bit.
close to that. You shouldn't be saying that.
His,
Old
yeah,
man
he's,
strength.
Yeah, but there's
only a
2025 old
he's,
man, and then there's like 1920s
only a couple
old
years
man.
older than you, Nick.
Yeah,
right?
1920s old mans were a lot stronger than today.
Okay.
Not one working at a magic shop all his life.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So hold one. Yeah, go ahead. You can make the same thing where you do the brawling roll, and then Chris, you can either do a dodge or fight back.
I'm
With
gonna
her
try
having-
to dodge again.
With her having 2 people on her now, is there some sort of difficulty or something?
Well, I'm saying that they're kind of doing it separate because he's going
Oh, yeah.
directly at the book.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get the book out of her.
Yeah.
Not
They
that
both
I
failed,
can.
so-
Yeah, you're kind of all flailing in the prop room right now.
So he's got his hand on the book, but I have technically learned the spell, so I'm like half reading, half still chanting.
Right. All right. Hang on
Love it.
one
Right
second.
now, this is the kind of wrestling you see in a horror movie or a soap opera,
Yep.
Pretty much.
and I'm all
Oh.
for it.
Okay. So as you guys are in there and you're all focused on Chris.
That 2 fully grown men are unable to take a book away from a small college professor.
Yeah.
Right?
A geology professor, though. She's stronger than your standard.
Um,
One could even say she's solid as a rock.
Like a rock.
Reich,
I-
my work spouse, that one's for you.
Chris, all 3 of you can make spot checks. Well, no, you're pretty focused, so I'm gonna say you can't make spot checks.
Can I like tap the description of the spell that I'm chanting to try to draw their attention to it without breaking the spell?
Yeah.
Okay, I do that.
Okay.
Because, like, maybe that'll get them to understand what I'm trying to do.
Sure. I just gotta find something on this. Oh, here we go. So you do that, and you guys are so heavily focused
Oh my
on
gosh.
getting this book away from Chris that you don't notice that one of the kitchen knives lifted up from the counter and was floating and just shot forward. Well, Chris, you have the lowest luck.
Yep.
But I also have 3 bad luck.
You do.
I have the lowest health, too.
Oh God.
This will hit Ronnie because of his bad luck that as you were shuffling with Chris, that you kind of went in the way of the knife. And the kitchen knife just like stabs into your shoulder.
Is that 5 damage?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So it not just stabs into my shoulder, it stabs into my guts.
Yeah.
It's like half my life.
Hey, now we're on the same hit point level.
How do you get a major wound?
I'm pretty sure that is one.
That it is, because I'm at a major wound, technically.
Yeah.
So I scream, bloody, and I like flail around with blood flying off of me
Yeah.
with a
Oh,
knife inside me.
God.
I'm like, I've been stabbed.
I told you guys not to go into the house.
It's
I
at this
told you not to go into the house.
Yeah, but the spell takes half an hour, Stanley.
It's about this time that the rest of you get there.
Oh, good.
We pull up and I look at the porch and only see Ingrid there, and I say, they went into the house.
And Ingrid's like,
And I listen and
I
we hear the
think-
scream.
yeah. Ingrid's like, I think there's a scream.
They went into the house. I just start running in.
Okay.
I will follow, but I'm gonna draw my. I think I have a gun.
Okay.
I think I have a handgun, and I sort of want to just.
Well, and Betsy also
Have it
offered her
out.
rifle.
Stuff on the electronic sheet isn't showing up.
Stanley hasn't drawn any weapons yet. He's just got his hands.
I feel like a rifle's a little over.
It's a little excessive, but
Just gonna have my little guy ready. They're screaming. I've been
Yep.
shot. It seems appropriate.
can you guys move yourself now that I dragged you onto this map?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
What's going on in here?
Chris, are you still chanting?
Yes, absolutely not stopping.
Okay.
Deeply concerned about Ronnie. Like, it's
What-
all over her face, but she's
What
like, I gotta do
intonation?
this.
So you
Betsy
see,
has her 30-06 with her.
okay.
I'm
What in the
gonna
dickens? Chanting,
scream out for
screaming?
Betsy as soon as I hear Betsy.
I'm assuming you go into that room. I don't know if you guys can't not go in there because of
I can't.
doors.
Yeah, go in.
Okay.
Betsy has her 30-06 in one hand and her medical bag in the other.
Yeah. You see
Did you-
your youngest boy with like a knife in his gut,
Massively wounded.
massively wounded, yeah.
Stanley already said he's bad with a gun, so she hands it to Melissa.
We
Okay.
got two.
And pulls out her medical kit and goes to Ronnie. She's like, lay down, lay down.
What is
Oh.
going on in here?
I'm like, and I'm like,
I
Chris
look
has
at her
lost her
chin.
mind. She's babbling. Something stabbed me.
Like,
And then a
Okay,
knife.
Did she
who
do that?
stabbed you?
I don't
Was
know.
it Chris?
I don't
Did
know.
she
She
I
came
do
think-
from
that?
the kitchen. Didn't you see someone in the kitchen?
No, there's
No,
no
there
one
was-
in the kitchen.
What are you chanting? I'm gonna walk over.
Chris points
Oh.
at the name of the spell again.
It's one of the books we found. We
Mhm.
were studying it last night.
Is it a stab Ronnie book?
No, it's like a speak to dead people book.
Why are you doing this? So you can speak to Ronnie in a moment?
Stanley.
My apologies, Mr. Wilcox.
As
I'm
William's
very
like,
stressed. I'm very stressed out.
yeah, as William's helping Betsy like hold the wound while she's doing
Okay.
her medical mojo.
Chris, I need you to make a POW roll.
Which is power, right?
Yep.
Prisoner of war, because that's what I am.
Oh,
Roll 20, please, please, please don't screw me over.
No promises. All right, there you go.
all right.
Hell yes.
You feel something try to get inside of you.
That's not what I expected. Great.
And you feel like literally it's like fingers that like sink into your back
Oh,
and into your body, and you're just like, no, and you just like push it out mentally. But
great.
it's just like it's
So I got that going on.
it's gross.
Which is nice.
Yeah, that feels awful.
Um
Usually you pay double for that kind of action, Cotton.
and we're kind of in a semi-combat situation.
I don't want to fight a semi. Sorry. You couldn't resist. Right, that one's for you.
Chris.
Someone
So
has been granted bad luck. What the?
oh no.
This is just a bad situation for this to start happening.
The keeper has been given
Boy.
extra dice.
We're in
Wow.
combat now.
We're in combat, and now I got to try to save him.
And how many extra dice do you have now that we're in combat?
A lot.
At least two.
Every
she has.
every
Yeah.
dice you roll is going to be with a penalty or a An extra dice.
Yeah.
It's like they've been building up over the course of the last 5 games, so she's got a lot.
That's true.
Yeah. Everybody roll a dex. And we'll
Yeah.
do, I don't know how to do an initial tracker on this, but
You should be able to do it just like, oh, maybe you can't.
Huh.
let's see.
Wow, we all rolled really well.
Yeah,
Right.
we did.
See, William got 15. Oh my god. So I feel like William's first.
Someone has been granted bad luck. Bad luck for whoever tries to help Ronnie.
That's Betsy right now.
Yep.
Apparently, yeah.
Well, Betsy and me, but yeah.
Well, then you need to redeem another bad luck for William as well.
Wow.
Shit. So how does that work?
It's up to the GM what happens.
Yeah.
Fair.
I mean, the bad luck is how Chris injured her arm last time. Part of why
Yeah.
she's so few hit points now.
Yeah, part of why she has 5 hit points.
If that knife
Someone
hits you, you'd
has
be
been
dead.
granted bad
Yeah.
luck.
Those damn Wilcox. Was this guy like your magic shop competitor that you ran out of Arkham?
I guess.
Those
Like
damn
Cthulhu's supposed to
Wilcoxes.
like not notice us, we ants, but I think they're taking it kind of personal right now.
Right?
Cthulhu, Steven. All right.
Steve Thulu.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I just wrote, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I just wrote an
Someone's been
initial
given
on
extra
here.
skill dice. Chris gets extra
Oh.
skill dice.
Hmm.
There
Yeah,
you go.
because you're doing the ritual that's going to kill us all.
Right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I
Or the
think the
next-
ritual is complete because that's what the power roll was, right?
No.
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 Oh,
No.
great. Lovely. Excellent.
Even we knew that. We were like, no,
No.
that's not what that is. We know what that is.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, well, okay.
So we're gonna do top of a pretty much just so we keep order of what people are doing. William,
Yeah.
your son is bleeding. Chris is chanting. I don't know if any of you
Someone's been given extra skill dice.
Not a Wilcox.
Wow.
Someone's been
Not
given
a
extra skill dice.
That family's bad luck.
Damn. So
what
Chris,
is
I
Stanley
respect
Melissa,
that,
and
you
Stephen.
might Stanley, you guys might survive this. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah.
William, I will say you do hear Ingrid like come into the house and see what's happening, and she's gonna go look for a phone to try to call for help.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna try helping Betsy to help our son. Whatever I
Okay.
can do. I've got some very basic first aid stuff that I'm sure she has taught me.
Sure.
Do like a magic trick to pull an organ out. I got your spleen.
No, but I actually have like a 30 in first aid. I'm not completely horrible.
Yeah. I'll let you give Betsy an extra die
Okay.
when she does her first aid.
Then I will do that.
All right. Chris, I'm assuming you keep chanting?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, her face is more concerned as we go, but
No, it's not. She doesn't care. She's like, I hope those Wilcoxes die.
no,
Everybody
no,
keeps
no.
doing
I'm not.
this inane,
She's
this
looking
inane
at all of us and being
non-scientific
like,
method.
she's looking at all of us and being like, good. The sacrifices have all gathered to slaughter.
Yes, Chris took an evil turn. You guys weren't looking.
Took or revealed, one of the two.
Eh.
Revealed.
But yes, she keeps chanting.
Okay, and then who did I put? I think
Betsy's next.
Betsy.
Betsy starts to, I'm assuming, first aid.
Yeah, I'm looking to make sure that it's a die 3. But we'll just look in on the cheat sheet. First aid. Oh, well, I did a die 3 for the random guy, so I'll give you guys a die 3. It's typically an 1 hit point. Oh,
Oh.
medicine uses a die 3.
Yeah, I'm so much better at first aid than medicine.
Yeah,
And I think medicine takes a lot longer than
it
first aid.
does. Yeah,
Okay. Well, hey, I only healed that guy for 1 anyways, so it's
Yeah.
like the dice knew the rules.
right.
Okay, so let's try this.
What
Failure.
happens when you
I'm gonna
take a
I'm gonna
major wound?
use the extra die from my husband helping me.
Okay.
Success.
Success. Let's see. So, Ronnie, you get within an hour of the wound. So you get a hit point back. As your mom pulls the knife out and stops the bleeding. And
That's good. I mean, I still was stabbed, but I'm glad I'm not bleeding or have a knife stuck in me
Yeah.
anymore.
yeah, so she's bandaging you up.
And you got a hit point back, which, means you're more than half health.
Yeah.
Is he conscious?
Yeah, he's conscious. You're probably horrified, but you're conscious. He's
Someone
probably
has
in a
been
state of
granted
shock.
bad luck.
Oh no, not more bad luck. Who is this for now? Ronnie. Another bad luck for Ronnie.
What a surprise.
Ronnie, the knife was pulled out, but it was actually serrated.
Right.
Oh, God.
I love that it says how many is that now when it shows on the screen how many it is. It's right here, right there, right there. That's not including the 4 we've gone through already that I had from before.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see.
Steven just wants an hour of our time right now.
Yeah, he does. He just wants to see someone die. Stanley, it's your turn.
What is going on? Are there more floating weapons?
You don't see any right now. You make either a SWOT or a psychology on Chris.
She's causing all this.
You're not sure. Like, you didn't actually see the floating weapon before. You just know that Ronnie got stabbed. So maybe that was an accident somehow.
I told you not to come into the house. I don't think he knows what to do.
Okay, you can just delay.
Yeah.
Ronnie.
I just stand there, I guess, and I'm like, what the actual fuck?
Okay.
And actually, I'm like, I have that look, and then I'm like, you guys just gonna let her sit there and babble on? Like, it's the kind of stuff that got my brother killed.
It'll be fine.
Jeez, no wonder he died.
Nothing, tra-la-la.
Let's see. Actually, how much bad luck do you have, Ronnie?
4 now.
4. Okay, I'm gonna just keep that in mind. Melissa.
6 other knives come down. 4 other knives, sorry.
A whole steak set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything in the room like a baseball bat or a racket or that sort of?
There's swords. There's the 3 swords and the bags of swords.
Someone
you-
has been granted bad luck.
Ronnie, your 5th bad luck.
Oh, gee.
Ouch.
Yeah, there's the swords, there's the rope. There's not really like a baseball bat. You do know too, you were reading over the spell, so you kind of have an idea of potentially in theory what Chris is trying to do. You better know the most out of everyone here.
Yeah. So I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. People back in, I don't know, like the 1800s or 1600s or something, thought this spell worked, and Chris is trying it out. If it works, which I doubt it will, but if it works, it means she'll be able to talk to anyone who's dead, and hopefully that means the Leary brothers can tell her who killed them, or if Memphis is dead, he can let her know. But again, it's probably just mumbo jumbo, and who really cares if she's just sprouting mumbo jumbo?
Well, it seems like you're making the spirits kind of angry right now, Chris.
I mean, if what you say is true from the other day, the spirits might already be angry.
Well, there's another way to talk to them.
I'm like, well,
How?
why the hell didn't she say that at the beginning instead of just walking over there and going apeshit crazy?
Is there a presence in this house? If there is, knock that face over.
If there is, stab Ronnie again.
No!
Ronnie, make a power roll.
Oh, dear God.
I'm like, I'm not clicking the button until you click it.
Someone has been granted bad luck. A Wilcox of the DM's choosing.
We'll do Betsy.
Oh.
All right. POW roll, Ronnie.
Why am I doing a POW roll?
Dang, you guys are doing good. Okay. You also feel the same thing that like I described to Chris. Is like you you feel 2 hands start to go through your chest.
I fucking jump out of my laying thing. I'm like, what the? And start swearing. Like every swear word Ronnie knows. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. But, it's like, what's it? There's something in my chest. There's something in my chest. Welcome on in, Immortal Frog. Yeah, and I start screaming, there's something in my chest. Something's trying to get in my chest. Jesus effing H. I can't see it, but I can feel it.
Go ahead. Well, let's see. As he's doing that, everybody in the room feels the room begin to shift.
With an F.
And with an F.
With an F.
Not shit. And the room gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller to the point where, like, Stanley, you instinctively have to like bend over and then you have to start squatting down. It's literally like the Alice in Wonderland where she like eats the Eat Me cupcakes and grows bigger, except it's the room itself is getting smaller, and it's forcing you guys to group together. I need everybody to make a sanity roll. And Chris, if you fail the sanity roll, it's going to break your chant. Oh, no. Of course. Okay. For those who fail, you take 3 points of sanity loss.
Oh,
How many minutes
I
into
meant to
this
hit
chant?
edit.
Right.
How many
I've
minutes into
done
this
that.
chant am I?
I would say you're probably close to 10 minutes.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Everyone, this is just your body's reaction to some anxiety and stress. We've all been feeling it. Take some deep, calming breaths. If we need to get some water.
When are you gonna face the truth?
Yeah, so then top of the round. You guys for this round are in the tiny room.
Okay.
So the first person is William, if there's anything specific you want to do. There is a very tiny doorway that you could try to squeeze your way through, or you can, if you want to abandon your family in this room or try to like pull them out. Or you could try to stop Chris from chanting, or you know, if you have other ideas.
So do we have the knife out of Ronnie at this point? Like as
Yes.
far as our medicine stuff
Yeah.
goes?
Yeah, it's out of Ronnie, and Ronnie is bandaged up. You and Betsy were able to do that.
I'm pretty stressed. I lost a little sanity. I think I'm gonna grab the knife and like maybe like
Dabs Chris.
That's what
Stop
I'm
this.
wondering.
Ouch.
Stop this madness.
What
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What do you mean with that knife?
I'll point it at Chris and just kind of scream out, "Stop this blasphemy!" Because at this point, I don't know what else to say.
Okay. Chris.
I got that going on. Which is nice.
You are 10 minutes into the chanting.
How long does that have to go?
30 minutes.
30. So she slams the book closed and is like, fine, fucking, I am trying an experiment. None of whatever this is this, because obviously this isn't, like, magic isn't real. I just thought it would be interesting to see what happens. If y'all don't want to be here, leave and give me half an hour in this room alone. I'm just trying to be scientific about a thing that we found that might help. Fully interrupts her spell. Totally pissed. Absolutely should have slept last night.
How does everything act when she does that?
The room goes back to normal.
Well, then what was this? What was that? You stopped chanting and this happened.
I don't know. Point is, you can all go outside. I can do this experiment. And then in 30 minutes, we may or may not have answers.
William kind of looks at the bloody knife and then just kind of drops it. And then just kind of goes over to Ronnie and is like, let's get you to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I'll just help him out.
Okay. Yeah, and you kind of realize like what you were like prepared to do.
Yeah. The sanity loss makes sense.
Yeah.
And William is probably not by definition a very violent person. So yeah.
Oh, he's a little old shopkeeper.
Right.
Betsy, Melissa.
Betsy says, Clara Barton taught me many things, but one of them, some things are just bad, and there's certain ways to keep bad away. Then she walks into the kitchen because she went through all the food stores and knows where everything is the last time we were here,
Mm-hmm.
and grabs the big sack of salt and starts pouring it around the corners and along the walls inside the prop room
Okay.
to keep the evil spirits at bay.
Okay.
Because she is superstitious.
All right, Melissa.
I mean, I am fine. Chris, you could have died had that knife hit you. So, are you sure you want to try this again?
I mean, that's a good point. But
maybe we should
what
remove
else?
the sharp objects from the house.
Yes, that's probably a good idea.
Can
What
we
the-
remove the props from the prop room and the knives from the kitchen?
But what will that do? It can crush us in the room.
But maybe it won't crush the one doing the chanting. I mean, still, I don't think they're connected.
You do know that there can be multiple people in the spell chanting.
Will that speed it up?
Just be a primary.
If other people spend magic points, it looks like it would speed it up.
Yeah, it would speed it. It's so basically for every person chanting or every magic point spent, it reduces the casting time by a minute.
It takes 30 minutes.
Yep.
And every magic point we spend, we lose a sanity.
Well, 5 magic points, you would lose 1d4 sanity points. So that is a way you can make it go through quicker if more people are chanting. If you guys want to try the spell.
I don't know about that, guys. I'm Catholic. I don't know about that.
Yeah, we've seen some weird stuff out there, Stanley.
Where's Father Stephen? We need him to do an exorcism on this house.
Yes.
That's probably true.
Has
But then we
Betsy
might not get
finished
answers.
putting the salt everywhere?
Yeah, well, Betsy, you're in the middle of doing that. William and Ronnie, you're walking out to the front.
Yep.
So as you get
Here's another bad
toward,
luck for you, Ronnie.
yeah. Well, both of you can mark a bad luck off. Because I think William, you have one too, right?
He does.
So
He's the lowest of the Wilcox's bad luck
Yeah.
list. We'll put him
So-
back at 0.
as you guys get to the front of the house, you hadn't heard Ingrid in a while. And when you get to the front of the house, you hear Ingrid shouting at someone. And you look, and Harold's outside, and he's just kind of in a daze, not really even listening to her, as he enters the house. And I think at this point, I want to take like a 5-minute bathroom break,
Okay. Sounds
and
good.
we'll see how far we get tonight.
Okay. Sounds good. We will be right back after, I don't know, a word from our sponsors, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
All right.
You can read that there is a contemplation about the others in the room and their responses, regardless of what his answer is.
As in, he's concerned about what his response will be because of the people in the room.
Yes.
I kill everybody else in the room.
Let's get this battle underway. We're going down. Get down, get down. Biddle-dip. Jungle boogie.
He just side eyes you and looks at Arabella and says, of all the places you wanted to fucking teleport us, you brought us right in front of the king's nose.
Yeah, because I have to warn the fucking king. So you should probably leave. Go slink off into your little hole. And maybe warn your people.
He looks like he's about to punch you.
There is a 1,000-year-old dragon burning down a city with over 100 giants right now. I don't have time.
Remember, the only reason that any of that worked back there is because of me.
Yeah. Do you want a prize?
It is Toivo's turn. Toivo appears, closes his eyes as you explain what's going on, turns its head to look at, or to its head so it's facing the Hound of Tindalos. So Matt and Brian, you hear the cat just growl real low and dangerous. Nick, you hear meow meow, I can smell you, meow meow meow. Roll your attacks.
All right, Timojenko flies over. Labrisa, I've got you!
Can he do a flyby heal?
Sure.
Get out! Get out! No! Sure, he'll go right there.
I am sorry, I am trying to be helping, but
What happened to Trinia?
she just disappeared.
I did.
We lost the kid.
I am not understanding. She just got hit by one of those raisins. She disappeared. She is gone.
And Arabella said I turned to stone?
You were a statue. Welcome back.
You know what? I just give him a hug. A big
Okay.
chalky hug.
Okay.
This is not the time. Doesn't look like
He
it
only
on
has
our
to.
side.
He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that prepared. He is going to. Oh, he can. He's gonna unload one of his most powerful spells at all of you.
Fuck.
Magic missile.
Kill.
So you see that guy shows up and swings at you, and it scrapes across your armor as you cast your spell.
Go. Mithril breastplate, bitch.
Glad y'all came to our hoot, Nanny. Good to see you, boss. How you enjoying yourself so far? Hey, get her another ale on me. No, get her 2 ales on me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The
Why not?
croaky bartender
I just
comes
go to
back
start
and sets
drinking.
2 mugs.
You can read that there is a contemplation about the others in the room and their responses, regardless of what his answer is.
As in, he's concerned about what their his response will be because of the people in the room.
Yes.
I kill everybody else in the room.
Let's get this battle underway. We're going down. Get down, get down. Biddle-lip. Jungle boogie.
He just side eyes you and looks at Arabella and says, "Of all the places you wanted to fucking teleport us, you brought us right in front of the king's nose."
Yeah, because I have to warn the fucking king. So you should probably leave. Go slink off into your little hole. And maybe warn your people.
He looks like he's about to punch you.
There is a 1,000-year-old dragon burning down a city with over 100 giants right now. I don't have time.
Remember, the only reason that any of that worked back there is because of me.
Yeah. Do you want a prize?
It is Toivo's turn. Toivo appears, closes his eyes as you explain what's going on, turns its head to look at, or to its head so it's facing the Hound of Tindalos. So Matt and Brian, you hear the cat just growl real low and dangerous. Nick, you hear meow meow, I can smell you, meow meow meow. Roll your attacks, please.
And some of that piano stuff kind of sounds like the bones that are falling as well.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We are back from the break. If the little music didn't cue everybody in.
Yes.
And yes, it
So-
shows Stanley as at one left.
One.
Oh, no. William doesn't have any bad luck left either.
Oh, right. Yes.
William has
I
used it. So
just-
William, Chris, and Melissa have no bad luck.
And I,
He-
yep.
I mean, I would be happy to take one from Ronnie.
If
The GM allows.
A father. Sure, I will allow a fatherly sacrifice.
All right. Transferal of one. Bad luck
Bad luck.
from son to
Yeah.
father.
What's Steven gonna do about it? Nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
Why are you goading him? Why are you?
Cause like I don't know.
Nothing, tra la la.
He's gone. He left already. He turned in all of his
Yeah.
channel points and he left. He's not
Yeah.
here. He's wall climbing somewhere.
Yeah, we can say what we want about him. So, William, as you're bringing Ronnie to the front, you hear Ingrid and arguing with Harold. And Harold finally just turns around, snaps at her, and says, I have something I have to do. Just stay outside. It's safer out here. And he walks in the front door.
I
And-
will get in. I will stand in front of him. It's like, and you have nothing to do in the house.
I have to be in there.
Why?
Because I can't sleep until I confront him.
Confront who?
Who do you think? And with that, Harold is actually going to try to shove past both of you. Let me roll. Actually, he's a magician.
So's my dad. My dad's a magician.
So you kind of just assume that he's gonna like punch you, right? Or like physically shove past you both. But instead, he starts making hand motions. Like how you would do on stage. And he starts muttering in the same type of language that Chris was muttering in. And
Oh, this is not good.
with your guys' bad luck,
Oh, no.
like you don't really have a chance to react because you're more just like looking at him like, what are you doing?
So we get to mark off a bad luck? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. Well, that's what the one was before we went on break, because you both had one that I got rid of.
Oh, right.
And he casts the spell at both of you. And what it's kind of actually, it's very cool visual because he casts two spells, and he casts one at both of you, and it's just like this, it looks white at first, but it's this white like ectoplasmic type material that turns into like a see-through plane of glass that just shoves both of you back away from him. You don't take any damage, but you're just moved. And you're both moved back towards the kitchen. So kind of think about it in like,
Oh, we're still in the prop room on the map, on my map.
yeah, but you guys are coming towards the front.
Right. So do we need to move us Into the kitchen, or oh, I can't move myself into the kitchen.
Yeah. So you guys would be. So like you guys were in the rotunda area,
Okay.
and then he moved you back into the kitchen.
I can't get my guy through the door. There we go. Okay.
And let me see if I can do a draw. So that is like a glass wall. And after you see him cast this, he turns around and he casts another one at the entrance, blocking Ingrid from getting into the house. And let me see if I can drag his token onto the board.
I'm like, Dad, what kind of trick was that?
Let me make sure that if you guys need to make sanity checks for seeing some actual magic.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a wizard, Ronnie.
He's always dead.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna just say 1 sanity point loss.
Oh, so we lose that sanity.
Just
no
straight
roll,
up lost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're witnessing actual magic that's actually affecting you. It didn't harm you though.
I mean, we lost sanity, so it harmed us.
Yeah. Well, you didn't lose hit points.
Yeah.
And you do feel the wall, and there is force to it. Maybe you could bust through it if you guys wanted to. Betsy, you were in the kitchen because you were pouring out the salt.
You're muted.
I was pouring the salt in the prop room,
Oh, okay.
and you said I got halfway through, so that's where I drew like the white lines.
Got it. All of you hear this, and you hear the chanting, and you hear William and Ronnie shout as they get shoved forward in surprise, or shoved backwards in surprise. And you look over and you see them behind this shimmering, glowing wall.
I'm gonna move in.
Go take
And
ask what's happening.
It's Harold.
I'm gonna grab my rifle from Melissa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, it's Harold. I knew it. See?
That was right. Harold kind of he turns his attention from you guys, like he was very like ragged and tired before, and now you just like he hasn't slept all night. And his hair's a mess. He has dark circles under his eyes, and he just looks. Well, make a psychology roll for anybody looking at him. But
Oh,
see
sure.
if you get.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh, you say that, Ronnie. You are really like on this guy.
Well, Ronnie knows how to read people.
That's why I put my psychology so high. I got a 1 psychoanalysis, but psychology?
I also only have a 1 in psychoanalysis.
Um,
You need to be like a doctor or a psychiatrist for that to be high.
yeah.
That makes sense.
So, like, both of you obviously realize that he doesn't look like he's in his right mind. The thing that throws
Usually you pay double for that kind of action, Cotton.
is that he looks honestly scared. And he starts shouting at the house. And he starts shouting, I know you can hear me. I know you're still here, even though you shouldn't be. Come out and face me, man to man. And when he says that, he casts another spell. And this spell this time is this dark purple energy. And when he casts it, he's in the rotunda here, when there's all those posters of Memphis the Great.
Is there supposed to be a thing, icon for him?
I wasn't able to drag it up.
Oh, okay.
And when he casts the spell, it's like this purple, sickly energy comes out of his hands, and he just rakes the wall. And it's as if it's like a tiger or a bear claw, except like 10 times bigger, just like rakes through the pictures in the wall and just like shatters the pictures, shatters the glass, and like has big claw marks in the wall. It's kind of like a large animal just tore apart this section of the wall.
Howard.
Do we lose sanity again for seeing that?
Those of you who hadn't seen him cast the spell before can take 1 point of sanity damage.
But
Since
those of
it's
us that
just the
saw him
casting.
earlier don't.
Yeah, because you've already seen him cast a spell. Now it'll change if he casts it like on something more human. Stanley, you're yelling out for Howard.
Yeah.
Try rolling like a persuasion. I'm gonna say it needs to be a hard success though, because he's pretty focused.
Can I aid just in being like Harold, I don't know what you and Chris have gotten yourself into, but we can help you get out of this.
Can I say,
Think of
Harold,
Ingrid.
he nearly killed Chris. He'll kill you too. Stop this and tell us what's going on. Try to intimidate.
Oh, you're gonna try to intimidate? Why don't you intimidate? And I'm still gonna say it's a hard success though.
Should I try persuading then?
Yeah. I'm gonna put it both as a hard success.
I failed anyway.
Oh God.
William, he is about to respond to you, and then Stanley says what he said, and it kind of pisses Harold off more. And Harold looks at him and says, I fought him once before and killed him. I can kill him again. And at that, he casts another spell. And he's just shouts, show yourself, you coward. And he does the same thing against the other side of the rotunda. So now the entire circle up there has these massive claw marks.
Does the prop room have a telephone in it? Or did we? Or do I remember seeing one in the kitchen?
A working one?
Yes.
There's not a telephone. Chris, you notice you feel warmth in your pocket where that spear is.
And I remember it reacted to Howard last time. Oh. I guess I pull out the orb and see if it's doing anything interesting.
It is flashing. And there are times where it flashes really bright, like this bright silvery light. And then there's times where it like flickers. And if you kind of point it towards Harold, it has like the same sort of intensity that it had before at the theater. But if you put it away from him, like kind of closer to like towards the house, that's when it gets more intense.
What do you mean you killed Memphis?
Can I follow the intensity of the orb and see if it leads to something?
Yeah, you start the fall and it kind of leads towards the rotunda.
Okay.
Harold, Stanley, when you ask that, he just Harold gets more frustrated, kind of realizing his mistake and admitting what he said out loud. And he's like, it was an argument, it got heated. We dueled, and I just had enough of all the secrets. He wouldn't share with me what he learned. He said I wasn't worthy after all these years of studying underneath him. And
I say with a guttural, like, because I'm still in pain, I'm like, well, at least you're proving him right.
As you say that, you guys notice at the top of the rotunda, and Chris, your orb is like glowing even brighter now as energy pours from the walls of the house and starts to pool and manifest into a spectral ghostly form. And there at the top of the rotunda here, you see a figure only a few of you have met, although last time he wasn't incorporeal. But you see him dressed in his stage regalia as
someone's been
Memphis.
given extra skill dice.
Ooh, who got that?
Chris, fight the magic.
Okay.
But it's spelled with a K, so you don't get it.
Oh, bummer.
I'm just kidding.
You see Memphis in his Egyptian regalia as he would be like performing on the stage, a ghostly figure. And he says, I see your audience is here to watch you fail, my apprentice. And I think that's a good place because we're at 10 o'clock.
Oh, no.
Oh, God. I've got to write this in Roll20 or I'm going to forget that I want to do this next time.
Okay.
Ugh.
Just write that on your character sheet.
We could go potentially till 10:30.
That is up to you all.
Will we come to a resolution at 10 by 10:30 or no?
Probably TBD. It
Then
kind of
maybe we
depends on
should
what
push
everybody
it.
does.
Yeah, then we should.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say push
We
it
should
then.
Yeah.
Guys, next Friday is Friday the 13th. We could finish it on that day.
No.
Come on, guys.
Is it?
Mhm.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah,
It is.
I mean, I'm okay with that, but
me too.
I feel like Matt and I might be busy.
Yeah, I have 3 other games that week, and I still have to work in my basement, so I could not.
Just
darn.
just hollow out the Friday.
Aww.
I guess we can't do it. Shucks.
Boo.
boo. Yeah.
We
slime, muck,
Lovely.
well, we could talk about it in the chat too. We could
Yeah,
also,
we could
if
figure out
it's,
the next one.
Yeah.
if we want to swap a Claimer's Conquest or a Stolen Souls game too, we could consider doing that.
True.
Taru. All right. Well, that means we are coming to a conclusion for the day, but just today. Just the day today. We're going to go and we're going to find someone for which to raid out to. For which to raid. I see someone that, oh, usually they are done by now. Oh, no, we're going to do these ones. I know we've raided these people before, but we're going to give them some loves. We're going to raid on out. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for joining us. I will be back tomorrow at around noonish, give or take. I might start early. I don't know. It just depends on exactly what I'm doing. I haven't figured it out yet. We're going to raid on over to Roll Propelled Gamers. One of the members of that game is a member of our stream team, so we're going to go give them some support and go in and join them. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you again, Rachel, for running Call of Cthulhu, and of course to all the players for participating. And thank you to Steven for trying to murder me. Of course, thank you to Sun Punch Studios. They were doing tabletop role-playing, and they came in and raided us, as well as Melty Corvigups. Melty is, again, part of the Black Collar Collective, so a shout-out and a thank you to those two for the raids and hanging out with us, and, of course, all of you viewers who are watching the show as well. Thank you so much, and we will catch you next time for our tabletop role-playing in 1 week, and I think in 1 week from now is potentially Stolen Souls, and then but if things schedules change, we'll let you guys know. So keep an eye out on the new Discord. Discord has been updated, by the way. For anybody who is part of our Discord, you'll have to re-accept the rules to get access to the chats and stuff, and there will be more updates to the Discord to come. So make sure to go in there and do that. Thank you guys so much. Take care and have a good night, everyone.